Welcome back, and you're in conversation with myself, Nafisa Dango, filling in for Sister Maria Mia on this mid-morning talk show. Definitely a very inspirational one, talking to Dr. Sebo Petsa earlier about his accolades. Goes to show that there's many things that we can achieve if we put our mind to it. Talking about that, I'm going to be speaking to a very inspirational young teenager from the village of Vembe district municipality in Limpopo. And she's going to be talking to us about how she's published her own piece of literature to be able to entice people to overcome the very serious subject of abuse. So a very warm welcome to Masindi Managa, 16 years of age.
Thank you so much.
Welcome to the show. It's such a pleasure having you on. And I think you're definitely going to be an inspirational to all the other young people out there this morning. So thank you so much for having us. Allowing us to have you on the show means a lot.
Thank you for having me. It means a lot.
Masindi, talk to us about your life and your experiences, and what made you eventually decide to write this book. Let's talk about you yourself first.
Well, I'm Masindi Managa. I'm 16 years old. I attend school at Murunga School of Excellence. I grew up at Tembaruwiro Mukura. I used to fetch water by a fountain called Chambrengere. I used to go to the Millie field together with my grandmother, but that was until I had to move to Litricha due to my parents' work commitments. And I would say that I'm a bubbly person. I'm also an ambivert, which means I can be an extrovert at the same time I can also be an introvert. I wouldn't say I love reading, but then I do enjoy it when I have to enjoy it. I think studying is nice, and I like chilling with people. I like connecting with people. So in a way I can say I'm a social butterfly. I am a born-again Christian at House of Grace Ministries under the vision bearer Apostle Livingstone Simango and his wife, Mrs. Push Simango. And yeah, I guess I could say that is me.
That is you, all in a nutshell. Okay, so let's talk to the viewers about what actually made you decide to write this book, Adore.
In a way, I would say things happened abruptly. So I can't really say what made me write the book. But then I would like to believe that God was leading me in the process of writing the book. Yes.
Okay, so basically you had this inspiration. Have you encountered abuse yourself, or have you seen it happening in other places that made you decide that, you know what, you need to write this book to be able to make people understand that abuse is not something that can be accepted, and of course how to entice them into a different space by them reading the book to say, I can help myself and I can find that help and that support out there?
I've never been abused. I've only seen it on TV where you'd find other people are being bullied. And I think that was quite painful because at most times you find that the person doesn't have a voice to speak for themselves, to stand up for themselves. And it would be so irritating to think that there are people like this out there, that obviously when you watch movies, they aren't just showing things just for fun. They're trying to spread awareness that, yes, such things actually happen in life. And it's so painful how you may find that there are a lot of bystanders who can literally just watch that and see it happen and laugh until something goes bad. That's when they want to act like they cared, but when they had the chance to fight against that, they didn't do anything.
I so agree with you there, and that's the thing, because what we're saying is it's not something that is not acceptable, and it shouldn't be accepted. And I think people need to start taking a stand by supporting each other, creating this one unison of a support structure where people that are bullies themselves and people that are abusers understand that that is not acceptable, and people in communities and societies are not going to accept this. They are definitely going to go out there and take a stand.
Yes.
Tell me, talk to us about, your book, how you compiled it. What sort of things can people expect from it by reading it?
Well, I'll start off with the title about. First, I wanted to name it a conglomeration of emotions. That we came to the point where we decided that the name wouldn't work. But a conglomeration of emotions means a mixture of emotions. Then my sister came up with a name, and she said, "How about we name it Ada?" I'm like, "Why not? It sounds nice." And I didn't actually heard the word before, so I thought it would be just perfect. And then we named it Ada. But then the book itself, I think, when looking, you can continue.
Yeah, what does Ado mean?
Ada means great warmth or passion.
Okay, so basically what you're saying is the book has a connotation where it's trying to reach out to people that are in different types of abuse levels and bullying, and saying that you're reaching out through your book with the word passion, saying that I'm passionate about helping you, I'm passionate about reaching out to you, and I'm passionate about educating you on how to get over it.
Excuse me, you're cutting a bit. Can you please restart?
Sure. So we were talking about the meaning of the word ado, and I was saying that it means passion. So it goes to show that you're passionate about reaching out to those that are going through different forms of abuse, and you want to make them understand that there are support structures out there and that they can stand up for themselves.
Yeah, indirectly, yes.
Okay, so talk to me about the book. What is it about? What can we expect when we get the book in our hands, which I don't have right now? What is it? What can people read in there? A collection of poems. What are you talking about in there besides the poetry? Masindi, can you hear me? Are you still there?
Yes, I'm still here. Right.
Okay, we're going to go
Can you
for a
hear
quick
me?
ad break. Yes, you can stick with us. We're going to go for a quick ad break, and we'll be back with you in a minute.
All right.
Audible. For just 700 Rand in Africa, Gaza 3,500 Rand, South Africa and Yemen 2,000 Rand. You can reap the rewards of your sacrifice. Go on and do your bit to banish poverty. Only the best animals, 100% reliable and guaranteed notice of your Qurbani done. Call 031 1100 573 or visit www.pennyappeal.org.za to book your Qurbani today. WhatsApp 081 407 2753 for more information. Trust us to deliver your sacrifice where needed most, allowing you to reap the rewards of this blessed action. Penny Appeal. Small change, big difference.
Kids these days are smart, and when you're competing for their attention against their smartphones, you need to make smart choices, like using Sunfoil triple refined pure sunflower oil in every meal you make. It's naturally cholesterol-free and approved by the Heart and Stroke Foundation as part of a balanced eating plan. So whether you're cooking, frying, or baking, you get the great tasting results that'll get their attention faster than the latest app. And if that doesn't work, change the Wi-Fi password. Sunfoil. Now we're cooking.
As the crisis in Palestine continues, the Africa Muslims Agency teams are on the ground facilitating emergency food and medical assistance to the affected families. Donate 15,000 Rand or any amount and help the people of Palestine. Call AMA now on 083-251-9376 or donate online at africamuslimsagency.co.za. Africa Muslims Agency, inspiring the spirit of giving.
Once again, Maulana Timol will be doing the annual Qurbani. Many people in the villages live well below the poverty line and only eat meat on the days of Eid al-Adha. Support this cause at 1,785 Rand for 7 shares or 255 Rand per share. Contact Maulana Timol, Maulana Sajjad, Maulana Hamad or Maulana Abbad on 011 852 6324 or 8613. or 072-299-9268. All slaughtering will be supervised by a team of ulama. Visit www.operationqurbani.org.za.
These are the days of Eid. Make takbir wherever you are. These are the days of Eid. Allah.
Add a sprinkling of sparkles to your magical parties and special occasions with colorful party supplies and awesome helium balloons. Celebrate Eid al-Adha in style with our stunning range of decorations, disposable tableware, meat bags and tags, Ziploc and self-sealing bags, refuse bags, polystyrene and foil trays, pallet wrap, Econo wraps, buff and clear tape. Eid al-Adha essentials galore. Be sparkled by our wide range of baking ingredients, baking tools, and bakeware. Stunning edible cake decor for Eid al-Adha. Sprinkles and Sparkles Party Shop. You want it all. Open Monday to Sunday. Visit us at 431 Inanda Road, Parlock, Durban, South Africa. Call 031-577-0604. Follow us on Instagram at Sprink and Spark and Facebook at Sprinkles and Sparkles.
Breaking stereotypes, moving boundaries, joining hands. Salam Media.
لا تقل لوحدي أو كيف السبيل.
Humanity sets the agenda.
Welcome back, and we're in conversation with Masindi Managa, a 17-year-old who wrote a book about bullying and how teenagers can seek help, and that's what we're talking about. Masindi, thank you for joining me on the show. And before we left, we were getting into the book and what it entails. And as we said, the book teaches, it speaks about bullying and the different types of abuse and how teenagers can seek help. So give us more insight into that.
Well,
hi, can you hear me, Masindi?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, so did you get the question, or should I repeat it?
Please repeat it.
Sure. So I was saying, as we got, before we left, we were talking about getting into the book and what it meant for you and what the book entails. So we wanted you to talk to us about what is inside the book, what you've written, and of course, what it means to be able to seek help. That's what you're teaching the people through your book. So talk to us a little bit more about it.
All right. Well, the book, it explores various themes such as life, living, hope, darkness, faith, and furthermore. Most times they ask me, what do you aim to teach, or what can people learn from the book? And I usually say, I can't really say what they can learn from the book because God gave me this word so that it can help someone, which means when the person reads it, God will teach them or make them learn what He wants them to learn. I would say that having this book, to me, it means that I'm able to speak for those who cannot speak for themselves. I'm able to, in a way, help people relate and make them realize that it is quite possible that they're not the only ones who feel the way they feel, and that there is actually someone out there who understands what they're going through.
That is so true. And I know you said at some point our peers are becoming depressed and suicidal, sometimes because of their issues, they cannot address it. And the book, that's what you want them to know, is that they're not alone and abandoned, and that someone out there is facing something similar. And a lot of the times when people go through this, they really do think that these experiences are theirs only and it only belongs to them. And I'm glad that you bring this to light, because the thing is, they need to understand that they're not alone. There are many others that are going through the same thing. And this is the way we can reach out to them, is also through your book, where they can read certain things and maybe get inspired to be able to stand up for themselves and change their lives for the better.
Yes.
And let's talk about also how you've reached out through your book, through your peers. As you're saying, a lot of them are depressed, they're suicidal. Has this helped them in many directions through yourself and the book to go out there and say, well, we're out here to... what are your thoughts about the unfortunate passing also of Lufuno Mavunga?
I feel that first of all, I'd like to say my condolences to the girl. And at first, I didn't understand what was going on when I saw the video. I just saw two people fighting. Next thing, I was told that she was gone, and I asked how, and they said she committed suicide. I almost cried on the spot because I feel that she didn't deserve that death. I still don't understand why that girl was fighting with the girl to the point where she literally made the girl kill herself. But I say that may the girl's soul rest in peace. I think it was quite sad how everything went, and she deserves justice, I would say.
I so agree with you. And it's also sad to see that a young girl actually committed suicide after being bullied at school. And this is what it's about. We're trying to make people understand that bullying is not acceptable. It's not a norm that should happen every single day. And this is what is happening in society at the moment. People are getting bullied in many directions. We need to start actually respecting each other. And that's what it's about. I think we need to go out there and educate people about respecting each other and respecting each other's spaces and who we are. And that's when I think the bullying will stop. Bullying is happening because people think that the one has a higher authority over the other. And I'm sure you'd agree with me. That is why you wrote the book, is for people to understand that that's not how it is. And that's not what life should be of, where people are dying and committing suicide due to being bullied.
I feel like we as people should also understand that we should treat others the way we would like to be treated. If we wouldn't want to be hit, we shouldn't hit another person. If somebody pokes you and it makes you angry, that doesn't mean that you should literally do it back to them. Sometimes you just need to keep quiet and avoid noise, because it doesn't solve anything to use violence in order to be understood or in order to get someone to stop doing something to you. Sometimes you just need to talk it out or just keep quiet and mind your own business. The person will realize that which means you don't want to entertain them. And when they realize that they're not getting the attention they need, they end up leaving you. We need to understand that in such a world, anything is possible. And we need to grow up and realize that violence is no longer the answer. And we can't think, I think most times, most teenagers think that being a bully is some sort of an achievement. And it really is not. We need to understand that it's not just, for you who is the bully, you're actually getting fame. But for the one who's being bullied, you're actually breaking them, their self-confidence. You're making them depressed. You're changing them and you're cocooning them. It is where we find people called introverts, because they're afraid of being hurt. Because so many times this world has just showed us that sometimes I feel like bullies make people feel like they don't deserve respect. They don't deserve to be loved. It's such things that we should stop. And like you said, we should educate people. And the more we make people realize that bullying isn't just bullying. Bullying is taking somebody else's voice away, taking somebody else's life away. We would actually understand that it's not right and we should stop it. We need to actually not just stand there when a person is being bullied, but stand up for the person who's being bullied. You don't know whose life you're saving. And it would be very great if we actually just show humanity once in a while. Bullying is not, I understand that some people say they don't bully people because they have a reason for bullying. But I say no, that's not an excuse. There's no excuse for bullying a person. You can't tell me that you learned bullying from TV and that's why you did it. If you actually realize it, they do show bullying on TV, and sometimes they show it as if it's fun and games. And maybe we're perceiving what we see the wrong way. We need to know the difference between having fun and like wanting to have a laugh, and also hurting another person.
That is true, Masindi. Masindi, would you say that your book could change people's perspectives on these particular issues that they are facing, especially young people?
I would say so, yes.
Masindi, what would you tell young people out there that are bullies? Do you think that the best way to deal with them is to educate them about what the next person feels like? Or do you feel that they need to have a curriculum in your school added in to make people, into your life orientation, maybe to say that that should be a subject that needs to be dealt with?
I would have to go for the later. We need to add it as a curriculum, because if we don't, I think it will continue. And if we actually have a curriculum, people will actually see that this is serious and it needs to be stopped, which means in a way that if it's added as a subject and a person were to do it, that person would have to be in more bigger trouble than right now when there's no subject. But I also think that at the same time, we should also educate people about it. We should have protests or something. We should have like groups which stand up for these people. I mean, there are already groups, but I feel that also in school we should have groups that stand up for these people. We should have a place where we can actually go and report this at school. Because sometimes you're not bullied at school, but you're bullied when you're going home.
I agree with you. So the bullying is not just happening in one particular environment. And it's not just that, it's also abuse in other directions that you're facing with. It's not just the bullying. So the abuse is also coming into play there. And that's why I'm saying it's important for a curriculum to come up, for people to actually change their mindset from a young age. Because what happens is, inevitably, from when it's happening from when you're young, you take this with you into your adult life, and that's the type of person you actually become.
I will agree.
Yes. So I think the most important lesson that I think we've all learned this morning through this interview is the fact that we need to go out there and educate people and put this, take this to government level and say, listen, we need to inculcate this into our life orientation programs where we make people understand that respect is the most important thing. And bullying does not teach us respect. It teaches us to have an ego.
I must agree. I mean, if we don't take a stand, we're actually allowing it to continue. And they do say what you allow is what will continue.
That is so true. What message would you like to leave us with today that you think is the most important thing that young and old people need to go with?
I would say that when things are difficult, trust in the Lord. Don't ever take violence into solving matters. Rather pray about it. And if you can actually seek for help, seek for help. Don't ever allow yourself go through something bad and thinking it will get better. Always trust what you see the first time, because trust me, it might not happen directly right after the incident first, but it might happen later on. And I would also want to say stay safe during this pandemic time.
Most definitely. Thank you so much for joining us. You've been a true inspiration, and I'm hoping that all the other young people, through reading your book, get inspired into changing their mindsets to say that this is not something that they're going to stand for, and they're going to stand united with you to be able to go out there and make a difference and change people's lives from a young age so that they grow up as better individuals.
Thank you for having me.
It was only a pleasure, and we're hoping that your reaching out has become a success, and that it goes even further, and that people start turning light to what is important. And I think these are one of the topics. So thank you so much. All the best going forward for the future, and you do to stay safe.
Thank you. May God bless you.
Bless you too. Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye. That was Masindi talking to us about the book that she wrote about bullying and trying to actually make teenagers understand the situation that they're facing due to this. I mean, as we know, a young girl has already committed suicide after being bullied at school. And that is the mindsets that are being created right now, which need to be looked at and need to be changed for the better. But before we go, there was something that I read by Nelson Mandela this morning. And I think it's important and pertinent to all the types of topics that we discussed this morning about educating ourselves about the relative issues that we're facing in our lives. And it says education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. And I think that is most definitely the most important thing. From myself, Nafisa Dango, I want to thank you for joining me on the show this morning. On behalf, of course, of Sister Maria Mia, who could not be on the show this morning. She will be joining you next week, same time, same place. Do join me on the Thursday show between 11 and 1 for more inspiration, upliftment, and empowerment. From myself and the team, have a lovely one. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.